Hi everyone, so today we're going to have a crash course in Photoshop. Okay, this will be a short video tutorial. Take some time to watch it and hopefully you'll pick up some new tricks in Photoshop. What you're going to be doing today is going to an images folder and you will have access to a whole bunch of images. Let's just have a look at what we've got. Just a bunch of random stuff. It's just random stuff. And we're going to be messing around with Photoshop and see if we can come up with an interesting, amusing, thought-provoking, silly, stupid composition. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to end up creating? Okay? Alright, let's get started. In Photoshop, as you can see, I've already opened one of the images. In fact, if I restore down this window, you'll see that I've opened 2 or 3 of the images. I've got the field, I've got the skydivers, and I've got the giraffe. So these are 3 windows that I already have open in Photoshop. Let's just make that clear. Okay, so really, before I start playing with these images, I need to decide how big my Photoshop composition is going to be. Am I making a huge poster? Am I making a small postcard? Am I making a calendar of a certain size? What am I doing? That's the first decision that I need to make. So I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to select International Paper and a piece of A4. I'm going to be working on a piece of A4 digital paper. Okay. Now, the paper that has appeared here is in portrait orientation. I really want to work in landscape. So I'm going to go to Image, Rotate Canvas, boom! I now have a piece of landscape A4 digital paper. This is where everything is going to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back to my field and just drag it into my A4 digital paper. Just going to fill this up, Control T, and just fill up the A4 digital paper. Brilliant. That's the first step. Now the second thing I'm going to do is drag my giraffe into the paper. Oh my goodness. That is tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Can we make it bigger? Control T again. T for transform. Let's see if we can make this thing a bit bigger. Okay. Not bad. Very pixelated. Press enter. Okay. Not too bad. But of course, my first challenge is going to be to remove the background from this giraffe. There are several ways I can do this. I could choose one of these tools, the marquee tools, and I could select some of the giraffe area, press delete on the keyboard, press delete on the keyboard, press delete on the keyboard. There's one way to do it. I could use the eraser. There's the eraser. There's the eraser brush. If you want to make it bigger, you can use the square bracket keys on your keyboard and you can start to erase stuff. We could use the quick selection tool to quickly go around the giraffe and oh dear. The quick selection tool is a cool tool, but it's not very good for this composition. But it's definitely a cool tool for making quick selections. And there's also the magic wand tool. Press delete on your keyboard and you'll delete bits of what you click on. Okay? So as you become an expert in Photoshop, you will master these tools, but it takes a lot of patience and a lot of practice. Okay, I'm just going to undo that on my keyboard. Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z, 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 Z. Okay. Control D to deselect. I'm going to mess around with the background eraser tool. This is a cool tool. Whoa, that's pretty big. Square brackets on the keyboard just to reduce that. Now the background color is quite different from the giraffe color. It's kind of green against brown. So when I select that green color, hopefully only the green will be erased. Oh, it took away some of the giraffe as well. Oh dear, I don't want that, do I? Is there anything I can do? Let's change the tolerance. That's a bit better. Let's change the tolerance again. That's getting better. Not bad, not bad. Just got to play around with it to see if I can just take away the green from the giraffe. And not the giraffe. Oh, not bad. Oh, that's okay. Lucky me. Did I get lucky? The background eraser tool is pretty awesome. But you need to get the settings right, I suppose. I've just discovered tolerance. That's useful. Not bad. Let's zoom in, just see what we've got. Okay, I'm just going to go to the normal eraser tool and square brackets. Just erase some of this stuff that didn't. There we go. Just clean it up a bit. But not bad. Carefully, carefully, just erase bits that we didn't get with the background eraser tool. I'm just going to change the size of the brush and go in, keep changing the size of the brush as I do this. Just messed up the leg. Oh dear, I didn't want to mess up the leg like that. I'm doing it quite quickly because I don't want to waste your time watching this video when the technique becomes clear. But anyway, by messing around with selection tools, you can erase the background of an image. So here we have a giraffe. Now then, what I'm going to do is just going to erase some more of that stuff there. What I want to make it look like is the giraffe has got his head in the grass. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy some of this grass and paint it in front of his legs and his mouth. Okay? So I'm going to go to the grass layer. Let's just rename this. Click in there. Can we click in there? Yes. Just rename it grass. And we'll rename this one giraffe. Brilliant. I'm going to go to the grass layer. I'm going to use the clone stamp. I'm going to change the brush smaller. I'm going to press Alt on my keyboard to get the crosshairs. Do you see that? Alt, Alt, Alt. Alt and click your mouse. Alt, click the mouse, go back to the giraffe layer and start drawing grass in front of the giraffe's legs and head. And now it's starting to look like the giraffe is eating grass. Does that make sense? Back to the grass layer, Alt, click, back to giraffe, and then just paint grass on top of the giraffe. So if we turn off the grass layer, this is what's happening on the giraffe layer. I've started to paint grass in front of the giraffe. Okay? So that's the clone stamp tool. Let's go back to the grass layer. The sky is on the grass. If I want to get rid of that, let's just turn the giraffe off for a minute. If I want to get rid of the moon, I'm going to use the clone stamp to copy that, Alt click, and now I'm going to start drawing over the moon, and we can get rid of the moon. Although obviously I didn't pick a very good piece. I'll tell you what, let's make some more clouds. So I'm going to make my brush bigger. I'm going to go to Alt click, and now I'm going to redraw clouds. Alt click. Just going to remake the sky. Alt click. Alt click. So it's a really cloudy day. This is the clone stamp in action. And the more that you play with it, the better you'll get at using it. So wow, it is a super cloudy day. Whoops. I don't want to do that. Control Z. Control Alt Z. So now we've got a super cloudy day and there's no moon in the sky. Alright, let's go and continue the composition. I'm just going to drag the skydiver into here. Oh dear. Okay, so let's put the skydiver on top of everything. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this marquee tool. I'm going to select this guy. I'm going to right click and make a copy. So this makes a new layer only with this guy. And now I can turn off layer 1 because I don't need that. I'm going to rename layer 2, whoops, skydiver. And I'm going to use some selection tools to delete the background. I'm going to try the magic wand. Let's try the magic wand. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. That's kind of quick. Ooh, that's a bit unclear, isn't it? Control D, let's change the tool. Quick selection tool, will that work? Yeah, look at that. That was easy. Again, oh dear. Just by using... Oh dear, that's not working. So we'll change to another tool. I'm going to use the polygon lasso tool this time. Just going to cut out this blue area here. Press delete on the keyboard. Bye bye. Let's clean things up with the eraser. Some things didn't get deleted. How's it looking at the moment? Let's just erase some of this stuff around it. Clean it up. Not bad. Control minus minus. I'm going to put him into the grass. So I'm going to go back to the grass layer, back to the clone stamp, make the brush smaller, select a bit of grass here, ALT, click, back to the skydiver, and I'm just going to paint some grass over his head. Make him look like he's going into the grass. Brilliant. Now then, this is looking a bit stupid, isn't it? Should we make him a bit smaller? Because he's obviously not as big as the grass. Maybe he's gone right at the back. He's kind of disappearing into... That's a bit weird, isn't it? Let's go to Skydiver and duplicate that layer. Duplicate means just copy it. And now we've got another one. So somewhere in the background, there's another Skydiver that's come down into the grass. And it's just kind of, let's just do that again. I'm going to duplicate that layer. And this is just weird. We've got skydivers all over the place who are landing in the grass. Who knows what's going on here? So we've looked at how to use some of the selection tools in Photoshop. We've looked at this beautiful tool here, the clone stamp. See if you can figure out how to use that. It's a beautiful tool. We've looked at the background eraser tool, which is another one. There's something here called the magic eraser tool. You might want to look at that. How does it work? I've never used it. We've also looked at layers. Look at the layers now. My composition is starting to get quite complicated. Before I finish, I'm just going to introduce you to one more thing. I'm going to go to the grass layer. I'm going to go to the filter menu and look at the filter gallery. And you can mess around with lots of different filters. For example, we've got paint daubs here. And by messing around with these different filters, you can create a different effect for your composition. And you can play with these sliders, and when you're happy, okay. And suddenly, I've got quite a different looking composition. I'm just very quickly going to select the sky, make sure I'm on the sky layer. That's the sky layer. That's it. Right click, make a new copy of that layer. So now we've just got this. I'm going to go back to the filter menu and I'm going to go to I'm just playing distort, I don't know, brush strokes, dark strokes. And I'm going to do OK. So now we're starting to get a completely different effect on our composition. The more you play with it, the more fun you'll have. OK, so have a look at the images and see if you can create your own composition. Good luck.